The most influential people in any U.S. workplace are almost always the quietest people in the room, not because they have nothing to say, because they understand something most American professionals never learn. The more you speak, the less each word is worth. The fewer words you use, the more weight each one carries. This is one of the most counterintuitive truths in any U.S. corporate environment. You were taught your entire life that good communicators speak well, speak often, and speak first. That is true for journalists, performers, and politicians. It is not true for people building power inside American organizations. Subscribe right now because this video will permanently change how you behave in every meeting from now on. Let me tell you about two people in the same Fortune 500 U.S. technology company. The first is a vice president who is known throughout the company as a great communicator. He speaks first in every meeting. He fills silences. He responds quickly to every question. He has an opinion on every topic that crosses his desk. People say he is engaged, energetic, always contributing. He has been a vice president for 9 years. He has not been promoted to senior vice president even though 3 people junior to him have moved up past him. The second person is also a vice president at the same U.S. company. She speaks rarely. When meetings start, she listens for the first 10 minutes before saying anything. When questions are asked, she often takes a few seconds to respond. When she has nothing to add, she stays silent, even when other people are scrambling to fill the air. People do not call her energetic, people call her thoughtful. In the same 9 years, she has been promoted to senior vice president and is being considered for an executive vice president role. The difference between these two leaders is not intelligence. The difference is verbal discipline. Here is why this matters so much in U.S. corporate environments. Words have economic value inside organizations. When you speak often, each word becomes cheap. Inflation sets in. People stop listening closely because they assume more words are always coming. When you speak rarely, each word becomes expensive. Scarcity creates attention. People lean in when you talk because they know your speaking moments are limited. The vice president who speaks in every meeting has trained his entire organization to discount him. His colleagues have heard him 1,000 times. His ideas blur together. His presence in a meeting no longer signals that something important is being said. The vice president, who speaks rarely, has trained her organization to lean in. When she opens her mouth, the room goes quiet, because the room has been conditioned to expect that her words will be worth hearing. This conditioning takes years to build, but it can be broken in a single meeting if you start speaking too much. Drop the word quiet in the comments right now. If you have been told you talk too much in meetings, or if you suspect your contributions are being discounted because of how often you speak. I want to know how many people are losing power without knowing why. Now here is the deeper layer. Speaking too much in a U.S. workplace does 3 specific things to your standing. 1. It signals anxiety, not confidence. Most American professionals believe that speaking up shows confidence. It can. But constant speaking shows the opposite. When someone speaks in every meeting, jumps in to fill every silence, and responds to every question instantly, the room reads it as anxiety, as the need to be heard, as insecurity about whether your value will be recognized if you stay quiet. Confident people do not need to fill silence. They are comfortable letting the room hold weight. The most powerful person in any U.S. boardroom is usually the one who is most comfortable saying nothing. 2. It gives away your strategic position. Every time you speak, you reveal something about how you think, what you prioritize, what you believe, what you do not know. A person who speaks often inside an American corporation has mapped their entire mental architecture for anyone in the room to see. A person who speaks rarely is harder to read, harder to outmaneuver, harder to anticipate. In any workplace where influence matters, being predictable is a liability. 3. It exhausts the attention of senior leaders. Senior people in U.S. corporations have limited bandwidth for input from below. The professional who emails them constantly, comments in every meeting, and contributes to every conversation eventually becomes background noise. The professional who reaches out rarely, speaks only when they have something specific to add, and disappears between strategic moments. That person stays vivid in the senior leader's mind. Senior attention is a resource. Spend it carefully. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you have the power over your mind, not outside events, and that this realization gives you strength. He also wrote that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we may listen twice as much as we speak. He was not advocating for passivity. He was advocating for the recognition that listening is a strategic act, not a passive one. In U.S. workplaces, the person who listens carefully and speaks rarely is gathering information while everyone else is broadcasting it.
That asymmetry is power.
Now here is what to do with this starting this week. Apply the rule of 1 in every meeting you attend. The rule of 1 is simple. In any meeting you attend this week, commit to speaking only once, unless directly asked a question. 1 contribution per meeting. That is it. Choose your moment carefully. Wait until you have something specific to add that is genuinely valuable. Then say it clearly, briefly, and stop. Do not pile on with second and third comments to elaborate. Do not jump in to respond to others. Do not fill the silence after your contribution. Just one thing, then quiet. The first time you do this in a meeting where you normally speak 5 or 6 times, the room will notice. The senior leader running the meeting will register that something has changed. The colleagues who were used to your constant commentary will adjust their expectations. And the rare contribution you do make will carry more weight than 5 contributions ever did before. Do this for 1 week, and the perception of you inside your organization will shift measurably. People will start to feel that when you speak, it matters. That feeling is exactly what authority is. The vice president who speaks in every meeting is still a vice president 9 years later. He is still considered engaged. He is still being overlooked. The vice president who speaks rarely is now a senior vice president and is being prepared for an executive role. The difference was not intelligence. The difference was that one of them treated speaking as a way to be present. The other treated speaking as a way to be powerful. In U.S. workplaces, silence is leverage. Use it. Like this video, if it explains something you have felt happening to you but could never name, share it with someone who talks too much in meetings and cannot understand why they are not advancing. They need to hear this. And subscribe. Because in the next video, we go into a behavior that almost every U.S. professional does. And it is the single fastest way to make yourself easy to replace. Once you see it, you will recognize it in yourself immediately. Do not miss it.